Bro, I just finished watching The Ultimatum South Africa. Have you seen this? Oh my golly, Wally. I just think it's crazy how I put so much time and effort into making these videos. And not one of my subscribers thought to let me know that this was a show worth checking out. Like not a comment, a tweet, an Instagram DM. No one thought it would be something I would be interested in. This much drama, this much oh my golly Wallies, this much fighting, smashing, deceit, deception. I just think it's crazy, man. Like you go to the south of France for one little week and everybody forgets you exist. They gonna have the nerve to ask me where I've been at when I post a video. Where I've been at, where you been at. I don't know, man. I gotta do some soul searching because I thought that these people were my people. And sometimes you just don't know who's your people, you know? It's like, you just never know. All right, welcome to Taste Take. If you're new here, today we're talking about The Ultimatum South Africa, episodes 1 through 9. 9 was the finale, and I know that at the time of this recording, the reunion is already out, but I haven't seen it yet. So I'm gonna be talking about these episodes 1 through 9, like y'all already see them, but y'all should be in the comments like I have not seen episode 10. So if that's something you're into, hit that subscribe button for your boy. For my regular Taste Takers,
Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
okay, quick background here. And just for the record, of course, like you guys have already seemed to be watching this show. So I'm just gonna be breaking it down from the beginning to the end before we get to the reunion. There's gonna be things that you guys, I'm late. So I'm just gonna be saying things like the highlights. Not every little, play by play, just the highlights. And some of it is gonna be old to y'all, but this is the video that you guys requested. And I was out of town, so I couldn't even watch it and make this video for you guys. And you know, the first thing I did on my birthday was on Wednesday. Thank you. The first thing I did to start my morning was watch episode 9 so I could finish writing this review for y'all. So just know that on my birthday, I was giving y'all gifts. And that's just the kind of person I am. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, background. So The Ultimatum, you guys hopefully have seen some of the Ultimatums before this. The Ultimatum is a show came out a couple years ago as part of the Netflix reality dating showiverse. Love is Blind, Perfect Match, The Ultimatum. The Ultimatum concept is very simple. You got two people that are dating. One of the persons in the relationship is ready to get married, and the other person is just not so sure. So the person is delivering the ultimatum. They say, look, either you marry me or I'm moving on. I've reviewed probably every season of The Ultimatum. The first spinoff they did was Queer Love, which was, I think, around this exact same time last year, and they actually branched out international. They did a France version, and now we have this South African version, which just one or two of you guys told me I needed to watch. So because you said that, I watched it. Okay? So let's talk about it. Oh, the concept. Okay, more of the concept.
One person in each couple wants to get married, while the other doesn't. They'll end their original relationships, then choose a partner from this experiment to live with in a trial marriage. Then they'll go back to their original partner for another trial marriage. Will this experiment unite them forever or tear them apart? When the ultimatum comes to term, they'll either choose to marry the person they arrived here with, move on alone, or with someone new.
It's just as wild as it sounds, and I don't even know how this show even got greenlit, but here we are, and I'm here for all of it. All right, let's get into these episodes. I'm gonna break them down as fast as possible and trying to hit the highlights. If I miss a highlight, you can put it in the comments, like how you didn't talk about this moment when this happened. Look, man, I was at a family reunion. I be saying that, but I've never been to a family reunion. I don't think my family has family reunions. So if you hear me say that, just know that I'm on my NOLA shit. Boom, episode 1. This one's called The Split. Of course, episode 1, we're gonna meet our couples and our hosts. Our hosts are Hausa and Salamina. And this doesn't need to be said, but I'm gonna just go ahead and say it anyway. These hosts are 10 times better than Nick and Vanessa, so I just get it out the way right there. Hausa and Salamina have been married for 15 years, and he gave her an ultimatum. You may remember that Nick and Vanessa host the ultimatum in the US, and Vanessa gave Nick an ultimatum, which made them, I guess, experts to host a show like this. They're not good at hosting. Okay, moving on to our couples. We got 6 of them. The first couple is Tabi and Genesis. They're both 27 years old, and they've been together for 7 years. It was Tabi that gave Genesis the ultimatum. Genesis is the one, and he was like, well, I'm not ready to get married because of finances, which is kind of refreshing to know that it's not just the US that gives a stupid excuse of not having enough finances to get married. Like, it's just good to see that it's not just us. She thinks he's scared, and I think you're right, Tabi. Tabi? Couple number 2, we have Kanya and Nkateko. Kanya is 34 years old. Nkateko is 30 years old. Kanya is the one that delivered the ultimatum to Nkateko. And I'm not trying to speak in the future from the past of the future, but let's just go ahead and give a moment of silence / oh my golly Wally in honor of what's to come with this woman named Kanya. Oh my golly Wally. Thank you. Couple number 3, we got Ruth and Isaac. They're both 28. They've been together for 2 years. Ruth gave Isaac the ultimatum. This is where Ruth thinks that Isaac is kind of like hiding her from the world. She ain't meet his family. She can only text him. She can't call him. She can't show up where he's at. The whole thing is kind of slimy, and Ruth don't deserve that. But we're going to get a lot more into that as the video goes on. We're going to get a lot more. Couple number 4, we have Lebo and Nola. Lebo is 26. Nola is 34. They've been together for 1.5 years, and it was Lebo that gave Nola the ultimatum. Nola tells Lebo, I'm a one-woman man, I'm your man. And immediately, my TV burst into flames, and I didn't have any idea why. But I found out why. Let me just go ahead and pre-order a Oh My Golly Wally in honor of my boy Nola. So I just pre-ordered it. It should be here any minute. Well, it just was there. Couple number 5, we have Courtney and Aiden. Courtney's 27, Aiden's 29. They've been together for 7 years. Here go our diversity hires. Aiden says he's just generally nervous about getting married. And let me tell you, just being around these other couples is probably the best thing that could ever happen to their relationship. And we're going to get into that later. Last but not least, couple number 6, we have Sizekele and Lindele. Sizekele is 29. Lindele is 32. They've been together for 6 months. Not only have these two only been together for the equivalent of 1 episode of Friends, this is the only couple where it was the man that delivered the ultimatum to the woman. They let us know that only 3 months into the relationship, he told her that he wanted to marry her. How we feel about this? Y'all ever dated someone for 3 months and they told you they wanted to marry you, and at 6 months they said, marry me or I'm out? Y'all ever had that? In the comments, how we feel about that? Okay, episode 1 comes to a close with the first little mingly session of the couples. This is obviously a very important part of each season of the ultimatum. It's like when you first get to see who you're feeling. I just took a couple of notes. I'm just going to read them off real quick. Okay, what did I write down? Kanye is boring as fuck, entrepreneur ass. Also, just say that you're an interior designer. No one cares that you're an entrepreneur. Then she got the nerve to say that these guys are all 6s and 7s out of 10. I wonder what she thinks she is. Nkateko talks like a fake prophet. He do talk like a fake prophet though. He's like, oh yes, you're wearing glasses. I also wear glasses. Bro, you're 30 plus. Everybody wears glasses. And if you don't wear glasses, you're just being ableist. Okay, then I wrote that Caesar Kele gonna be a problem. She told Isaac she might not want kids and she don't want to get married until her 40s and 50s. 40s and 50s? At that point, you might. Oh, and then I put Ruth as my favorite so far. That's it. Boom, episode 2. This one's called The Choice. We're still mixing and mingling, so I got a couple more notes to go through. Here's kind of the highlights of what I was capturing from these moments. Overall, it seems like Tabi's here for the drama, and I'm ready here for her being here for it. Then I wrote down a note it was like something where like Nola's face when Lebo calls him out for not getting her a drink and he got the other girls a drink. Like that couple, we gonna keep our eyes on that. Then here go the fake ass entrepreneur hearing the whole entire fight going to ask, are you guys enjoying the experiment so far? Kanye, if you don't get out of here. This dude Nola's having the time of his life. Meanwhile, Lebo's having the driest conversation in the history of mankind with Aiden. Lebo then overhears Nola calling Ruth a sweetheart, and she summons him. She summons him over like she was his mom, and he had to go and get, like a talking to. Overall, I wrote down that these men are so delusional. I don't know what part I was talking about, but they really are. And I'm gonna get into it a little later, but a lot of it stems from this, what do you call that? Double standard, where like, they're obviously mixing and mingling. And these dudes are mingling, and they mixing, and they mingling. But as soon as they girls start mixing, and as soon as they girls start mingling, it's a problem. Sir, can you explain to me why you can mix and mingle and your girl can't mix and mingle? Did you guys read the Netflix paperwork of what this show is? Did you guys read the rules, like the guidelines? Anyway, the next note that I wrote is that Courtney was telling someone that money doesn't mean anything. Money doesn't matter. This girl's obviously rich. Only someone with an abundance says something that stupid. All right, now we're about to get into the choices. Like, they've been mixing and mingling. They kind of know who they were leaning towards. And this is where we get more interaction from the hosts. And these hosts be hosting because they be jumping in and they catch stuff. Like where Nick and Vanessa be missing something that they should dial into. These hosts were like, oh, Isaac, I heard, you getting shouted at because you ain't, spend no time. You said you had a good conversation with everyone except for Ruth. You want to talk about that? All right, so I'm going to get into like the choices of like who is going to be with who for the first 3 weeks of the trial marriage. First up, we have Ruth. She chooses Nola and he accepts. I got nothing else for that right now, but just know, we'll be back. Courtney chooses Genesis. She wanted to choose Aiden, and let me just say that right now. It's not how the game goes. Nketeko's kind of looking sick, like he fake wanted to, spend the time with Courtney, but Nketeko wanted to spend time with every goddamn person, so just relax. Anyway, Genesis accepts her, proposal. Yeah, they're gonna be together. Caesar Kele's up next. All of a sudden, this girl starts hyperventilating by having a freaking mental breakdown. She runs off like, like the Maury show. She ran off like that. Tabi tells Kanya, hey, you should go comfort her. What does Kanya do? She goes, why? I don't even know if she's laughing or crying. And this, we already seen Kanya, what she can do, but we don't have no real idea. But this was the first moment where I was like, oh my golly, Wally. I mean, first of all, Tabi could have also went to go comfort her, but you really just said why. Like, she's not laughing. Kanya. Boom, episode 3. This one's called New Bed, New Partner. We just left off with Caesar Kele having that freaking mental breakdown. No one wants to go comfort her. And of course, who goes over there? Our host. Thank you, Queen. Take care of this girl. Caesar Kele finally wipes the snot off her nose and gets her shit together. She chooses Nketeko. Nketeko takes the next 30 to 40 minutes to word vomit something. I don't even know what he was even saying. He accepts. They will be together for the next 3 weeks. Of course, we had to get a word in from Kanya. She thinks the whole thing is fake. What the hell else is new? What else is new, Kanya? Next up, we have episode 3's first. Oh my golly, Wally. Lebo gets up to make her selection. This woman chooses Isaac, and Isaac says, girl, hell no. I mean, he didn't say it that mean, but that's what I felt watching it. He says, I'm feeling someone else. This brings me to reason 337 of why Netflix needs to greenlight my reality dating show idea. It's called Love Has 2020 Vision. It is a working title. Okay, real quick. This is the idea. You get a group of people, let's say 20 people. 10 of these people really have no idea what's going on. They think they're really on a dating show. 10 of these people are paid actors. Half of them are like supermodel level hot, and the other half are not, they're just not. Cool. So these guys are like mingling and mingling. These 10, they're real people. They're just trying to date, but they can only date like, the people on this side of the pool. The super hot supermodels are just a little bit rude. It's kind of like on the Kardashians when like Kim be texting while Kourtney's trying to talk. They're just like, they're not really paying attention to the dates, but they're hot. The people who are less hot are super attentive, super nice. They're invested in what the other person is saying. And I just want to see how many times these men and women still go for the hot person. Because what people are willing to put up with if they find someone super attractive, it is ridiculous. I guess the dating show is more of a social experiment, but Netflix, just figure it out. And I don't even need royalties. I'll take $10. But I just want to see something. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, back to Lebo. Lebo done got crushed by Isaac. She chooses Aiden. Aiden accepts her choice. This is really just two people agreeing to be friends and roomies for 3 weeks. There's nothing romantic there at all. Next up, we got Kanya. Kanya, of course, chooses herself. No, I'm just kidding. As I already said, Kanya chooses Isaac. She said that every other guy was boring and Isaac was not boring. So she chooses him. Excellent. And last but not least, we have Tabi and Lindale, who end up choosing each other. They're happy with it. Let's move on. The trial marriages have begun. I'm not gonna lie to you, the first thing I wrote down here is that Nkateko let the champagne bust all over him. That's the first thing I wrote. Then I wrote that Nola's walking around looking like he got the wrong suitcase from the baggage claim. Moving on, this is the first night for all the couples, and so far we got no funny business. Everybody's on their best behavior. Some people not even sleeping in the same bed. But that will all change shortly. Now for some bedside conversations, Nkateko and Caesar are playing Truth or Dare. He asked her, what's the craziest place you ever had sex? And she said, on the plane. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I was literally on a plane while watching that part. I've never done that, but I'm just saying, like, I was just on the plane. I wasn't doing it while watching it. Like, I'm just making a comment. Then she dares him to act like a horse, and I don't even know, that would have been my last day with her. That would be my last day. Immediately no. Immediately no. The next dare is for her to kiss him. And ladies and gentlemen, we got our first smooch. Now, I don't know what exactly inspired this next comment, but I wrote down here that Lindele treats this show like it's Squid Game. It's kind of like he's just trying to build the perfect woman. Like, he's just like, yes, excellent. And you said you wake up at what time? Yes, that'll do. And can you describe your folding patterns? I like my clothes to be folded a certain way. Is that something that you can get behind? Okay, yeah. And how would you describe yourself as a nurturer? Strong, quite strong? Okay, thank you. Over to Ruth and Nola. Now, this next part could be boring to the untrained eye, but you are dealing with someone with a very trained eye, with contact lenses, AccuView Oasis dailies, so they fresh every day. I'm gonna tell you what I saw. Okay, this is where he asked her who she would have dinner with, dead or alive. Like, she could pick anybody, dead or alive, like anybody. I've been thinking about this question my whole life. I have answers for days. And if you guys want to tell me who you would have dinner with, dead or alive, and want us to maybe leave it in the comments, I would not be mad at that. Anyway, this girl Ruth says she wants to have dinner with her homegirl, who's like alive, because she's a nice person. Like, you probably had dinner with her last week. This dude Nola's like, well, I would have dinner with my mom. She's like, why? And he's like, she passed away when I was 3. Now, at the moment, I was very touched by this. But knowing what I know now about Nola, who even knows if his mom's even, I'm not even gonna say it. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sure he wouldn't lie about something like that. Then he chooses Michael Jackson, which of course is the right answer. He also calls him Michael Jackal, which is actually kind of like racist rhetoric that the British press started, but I'm sure you just know that. After that dinner conversation, these two gonna bring us our next, oh my golly, Wally moment of the episode, cause they get to freaking. I'm out here just gassing up the first smooch off the Truth or Dare, but these two are busting it wide open. Oh my God. All right, the only other thing I want to talk about with this episode is how Kanye called SZA and Nkateko fake. Like, girl, that's your man. You're proud to say you're dating someone you think is fake? That's what's hot in these streets? Boom, episode 4. This one's called Jealousy and Suspicion. This episode starts with Lebo and Aiden going over to hang with Lindele and Tabi. Lebo and Aiden are like, no, we're just friends. Girl, like, we know. We already know. Lebo's innocent ass is like, could you forgive your partner if they kiss someone? Tabi's like, girl, hell yeah, I already did that in the past. Then Tabi's like, do you think people are gonna be going all the way? Lebo's out there clutching her pearls. Meanwhile, her man Nola smashing Ruth from here to North Africa. Just the thought of it all inspires Aiden and Lebo to go sneaking around on Ruth and Nola. And these morons get caught. Lebo's out there shouting at Nola like, what the hell? You were holding her hand. Nola's like, we weren't holding hands. We were smashing. I'm just kidding. He didn't say that. But he was thinking it. Over to Nkateko and SZA minding their own business. And I hope Nkateko got good insurance because she almost Christopher Reeves this man. And of course, Kanye wastes no time addressing it. Literally, the whole block is just watching this whole thing happen. Lindele is, the fumes is coming out of his ears. And he's out there literally holding hands with his girl, mad at what his, like, what do you expect? And this is why you can't, like, men, like, what are we gonna do with these, huh? Ladies, what are we gonna do with these guys? Just live in a double standard. Now this next scene got, oh my golly, Wally written all over it, but it's subtle. This is where Kanye is gonna meet Isaac's people. Keep in mind, Ruth, Isaac's original partner, has never met any of them. The same Ruth that he's been dating for 2 years has not met these people. Meanwhile, he was dating Kanye for 2 days and she's sitting with the family. But his cousin Moses ain't never heard of the concept of inside thoughts, because the thought of a woman that can't cook is literally blowing his mind. Now, let me just take a second to give a disclaimer, like a public service announcement. I'm aware that I'm sitting in the comfort of my home in New York City in the good old US of A. And I'm watching a show continents away in the lovely country of South Africa. and everybody got different customs, and everybody got different ways of doing their business and minding their business. But if something don't make sense, I'm gonna call it out. And it might just be a cultural thing, I get that. But it could still be weird, and I can still talk about it. So let me just address this, please, thank you. I just had to say that other part first, because I know everything is different. This dude Moses is like, how you got a woman in the house and you ain't eating? None of that makes sense. This dude Isaac is like, yeah, the cooking thing's been a little tough. And I'm not saying that this is an expectation I have for her as a woman, but I do expect her to get her ass in the kitchen and cook me dinner. Bruh. Then they have their one-on-one talk. Now, I just kind of defended Kanye for a quick little second. And I would defend that for any woman who's been expected to be just cooking and cleaning and whatever. But they have their one-on-one talk. And she says, I just need to be with someone that knows I'm the prize. She says, let me guess. You're about to ask me what I bring to the table. Well, let me tell you right now, I am the table. It was very much giving Simone Biles' husband. And I just want to ask the crowd, please. She says she wants someone that knows she's the prize. Can anyone in the comments tell me exactly how is she the prize? Like, just if anyone could verbalize that. And how are you the table? What do you bring to the table is just not on my list of dating questions. I'm more likely to ask you what's your favorite scene in the Titanic. But honestly, I do really want to know what she brings to the table. You don't even wash your own dishes. Just what about her makes her think she's the prize? Like what? She wants to be provided for financially. Like imagine she was like super rich. Then she could be like, I don't even need you to pay for anything. She's literally saying, I need my man to be financially stable to provide for me. So you don't provide finances. You're not providing cooking. You're not providing cleaning. You definitely ain't nice and uplifting. You ain't going to be uplifting me. So if anybody knows what Kanye brings to the freaking table, put that in the comment and then I'm going to pin it to the video. And then so everybody could read it. Because I think it's a question that a lot of people are asking. So whoever got the answer, you put that in there and I'm going to pin your comment and the world will all learn together. Boom! Episode 5. This one's called Revelations and Reveals. Episode 4 ended with Isaac storming out of the house to get away from dirty ass Kanye. He pulls up on Lindalay to just vent and chill. While Isaac's over there talking to Lindalay, Tabi goes over to talk to Kanye to see, I guess, her side of the story. Kanye tells this woman, I just need someone that can take care of me. This dude is incapable of taking care of me. Can you believe that he expected me to buy groceries with my own money? That's what she said. She's upset that she was expected to pay for groceries that she would be consuming. They both leave to reunite with their men, their trial men. The men were cooking. Kanye got the nerve to complain about the meat that she's consuming, that she didn't cook. Because she can't cook. Shout out to you, Moses. Complaining about the food that's provided for her. After just complaining that you have to pay for the groceries, but now you're getting a free meal that you don't like. They didn't even say thank you. Okay, we got to go over to Ruth, and Ruth is going to give us one of the most powerful, oh my golly, Wally moments of the whole season. And I don't even know if it got enough attention. And you could tell me in the comments, I guess, if you're like, duh, Chris, we know that was crazy that she said that. Okay, this is where Ruth brings Nola over to meet her people. Instead of just getting to know Nola and getting Nola to know her people, she spends a good amount of that time just dragging Isaac. He's not there. And the man can't even defend himself. But what she said next really is what makes the OMGW extra crispy. Because first she says that Isaac is just not funny. He refuses to tell any jokes. He's just too serious, which is whatever. I think he's trying to tell jokes to Kanye, definitely in the beginning. But that's not important. Because then she says that, let me just say it. Then she reiterates to her whole family and Nola that when she's smashing Isaac, she can't feel it. Bro, you're on Netflix. His friends watch this. His mom probably watch it. His coworkers. Now you the is it in yet guy. Life is just cold sometimes. Anyway, Ruth's family don't seem to like Isaac, but Nola ain't doing himself no favors either. They're like, we don't like this dude either. We don't trust him. And that makes sense because this dude Nola looks and talks like a creep at all times. Okay, later on, we get a scene with Nkateko and Caesar. They're FaceTiming his mom. They didn't FaceTime, it ain't the iPhone, but they talking to her on the video. This part is so good because Nkateko's mom is dragging Kanye for filth. She's like, oh God, you got a new girl, thank God. He's like, mom, it's just a trial girl, it's just 3 weeks. She's like, no, because that girl, Kanye, is bitter and she'll never change. And also, just a moment of silence for Nketeko's mom. Like the real MVP. If my mom dragged a woman that I was interested like that, it's over. Oh, everyone in the whole world could see that Kanye is trash. And down to Nketeko's mom. And he the only one that just holding on to that creep. That's right, Nketeko's mom. Read her for filth. Then, just like I expected, Isaac runs back to Lebo to apologize for rejecting her. Poor thing. It's just too little, too late. And he's just blinded by ass, man. Over to the guys all hanging out. This dude Nola lies about everything. They're like, have you kissed Ruth yet? He's like, no. Just forehead kisses. That's it. Obviously, that's where I draw the line. And I'm obviously eating that thing out every night, huh? What'd you say? Because you said something I thought. Nola goes on this rant about how he's going to marry Lebo and how he will give her 100 roses with one plastic one in the middle. And he says, my love for you will die when the last rose dies. I think about 6 minutes later, he goes home and smashes Ruth again. Back to the guys all hanging out. Someone asks Nola, what's up with you and Ruth? Are you guys banging? Nola says, no, we haven't banged yet. This dude Isaac spits out his drink just at the thought because they said yet. He spit out his drink because he said not yet. Because he would be disgusted if that would be something that happens in the future, down the line. Imagine if you knew that this man Nola was thrashing that thing every night. Over to the girls hanging, Courtney's like, Ruth, how far have you gone? Ruth's out there, paused. She's like, huh, what? She got the smashes flashing back in her head going crazy. It's like the Zach Galifianakis. They just flying through her head. She's like, moderate? You know what I mean? Like when I say moderate? Girl, we literally know. No one knows what moderate means. Then angry ass Kanye jumps in for some reason to let the whole world know that she hasn't had sex with Nkateko since September. And she thinks that he's just with Caesar just for smashing. If only. Caesar asks the most normal question that anyone would ask after a statement like that was made. You just said that you haven't smashed your man since last September. She says, why? Kanye says, what do you mean? Go ask him. Go ask him. You the one that brought it up. What are you talking about? Kanye says he sees why they get along because they're both sluts. How is she a slut? What are you talking about? You don't even know her. What are you talking about? Okay, we're going back to Ruth. This episode ends with her admitting to Lebo, girl, I've been smashing your man. It's been going crazy. He's hitting this thing and all sorts of... All right, that last part I just added. I don't know why I did that. Boom, episode 6. This one's called Broken Bonds and Boundaries. I'm trying not to be too dramatic here and say that episode 6 is probably the craziest episode I've ever seen in any Netflix dating show. And y'all can let me know if I'm being a little hyperbolic. I just think that this might have been the one. And you can tell me what other ones do you think are in contention. But all right, we are in the middle of an active war zone. This is Ukraine and Russia. It's going down. Lebo just found out that her man is smashing Ruth. That's where we are. Ruth goes home to Nola to, I guess, let him know, like, look, bro, I had to let her know that we're smashing. She leaves the door open and Lebo just comes right in after. What even is this? Lebo's like, oh, word, y'all been having sex? This freaking moron Nola's like, why would you joke with her and tell her that we're having sex, Ruth? Why would you? Literally not now, Nola. Like, it's over. Then you got Aiden running around like he's the host of the show. Ugh, poor Aiden, man. Bless his heart. Nola just wants Ruth to explain, like, why would you tell Lebo? Not like this. He's like, look, now I got to tell Isaac. It got to be even. And just so I get it out the way, just this whole episode is a, oh my golly, Wally. In case it wasn't clear from my little speech earlier. So, like I said, Nola calls Isaac over. Isaac's like, what's up, bro? Everything good? Everybody chilling? Nola's like, look, bro, you know how I said I had only given Ruth those forehead kisses? Yeah, of course, forehead kisses is a little crossing the line, but just the forehead, I get it. Nola's like, well, actually, I also been eating that thing and sliding in raw. Now we got our first ultimatum physical altercation. Like they were fighting.
Touch me one more time.
Never do it.
This is probably the moment when y'all were watching it and you probably commented the most that I should watch the show. Because this is something that I needed to see. This whole fight is the most Jerry Springer thing I've seen in a long time. Yeah, shout out. Then what happens next? There's only so many things that could make this worse. But the one thing that could happen next that could really take this to the next level is Isaac coming home to Kanya laughing in his face. This ain't the biggest villain in Netflix reality show history. Please tell me another name. And if you say Bartiz, it ain't. It's her. Nola's clothes are now being thrown on the ground like this is waiting to exhale. This is wild, but we do not have time for a break. Put that water down. This is not halftime. Because then Caesar tells Nkateko, your girl's a bitch. I just can't take it anymore. He's like, well, did you tell her that? She's like, no. He's like, well, let's go over there right now and let her know a little something about herself. They walk over there. Kanya's already ready to fight. She's like, get off my property. This dude, Nkateko, just dropped the girl off. It's kind of like in Rush Hour 1. Remember when Jackie Chan was trying to warn the cops not to go in that building because it was a trap? And he's like, we got to warn them. And then Chris Tucker's like, yeah, we got to warn them. He's like, let's go. And then Chris Tucker like immediately turns around and walks back away from the danger. It's kind of like that. You guys never seen Rush Hour 1? Anyway, the next, oh my golly, Wally, moment of the episode. Kanya is face to face with Caesar. Nkateko is nowhere to be found. The dude's back at the house playing PlayStation. Kanya tells Caesar, you come in to put your fat bum on my chair? She got the nerve to talk about people not showing her no respect. And this is how you talk? This monster Kanya tells Caesar, you're a ratchet hood rat. Get your fat ass off. Because that part wasn't funny. Because that was obviously a serious moment. Weird. I was not laughing at that. I was like thinking about something else that just happened days ago. I was just came back around in the moment. I need y'all to take this seriously. Caesar walks back to Nkateko. She's like, what the hell, bro? How you gonna leave me in there with Genghis Kanya? He's like, you're right. I'm gonna go over there and avenge you. This dude, Nkateko, goes over there and gets cooked just as bad as she did. It's kind of like in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Part 1, when all the turtles are taking their time one by one to fight the Shredder, but he's just beating their ass and sending them back where they came from. It's kind of like that. You guys never seen Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Part 1? Then you got poor Isaac looking at bus tickets so he can get the fuck up out of there. This is the wildest show on Netflix. Kanya tells him that he's got cheap shoes and ugly teeth. I need a break. Boom! Episode 7. This one's called Back to Reality. Now, I didn't address this in episode 6, but that episode ends with Lebo and Nola both leaving the show in dramatic fashion. Okay, now we have the changeover. This is the beginning of the next 3 weeks where you gotta live with your original partner as a married couple. Not gonna lie though, after all that, 3 weeks with Kanya, I'd rather just sleep in the jungle. Nkateko does not take my advice. He does not sleep in the jungle. He tries to sleep in his own bed. And now it's the biggest mistake he ever could have made. Kanya's like, get your cheap ass wine and get the fuck up out of my house. Bruh, she's pouring wine on this man in his own bed and hitting him. They're gonna put one of them little warnings and be like, this is abusive behavior. And if it was the other way around, they would have this whole thing hemmed up. If he was that abusive to her, but now we chilling, we talking about double standards. It was ugly. Besides that moment, there's not a lot that I want to cover in this episode, so let me just touch on a couple more things and then we out. Ruth apologizes to Isaac, but he ain't really trying to hear that shit. And he's definitely not trying to sleep in the bed that she just got done smashing him. The freaking juices probably ain't even dried up yet. What even is this journalism? Ruth tells us, I know men don't really like it when their women sleep with other men. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Isaac tries to squeeze his ass on a freaking lazy boy. He's just uncomfortable AF. So because of his uncomfort, he decides to just sleep in the bed and just deal with Ruth later. Over to Nkateko and Kanya. He's trying to squash the beef. She tells him, you owe me an apology. For what? Literally for what? This freaking simp apologizes and it makes me sick. For what are you apologizing for? Please. The last scene here is with Ruth and Isaac. This episode overall was just kind of boring, especially compared to episode 6 that gave me all the flavor I never needed. But I'm damn near dozing off. And then I hear Isaac go, you want to know what I'm doing here? And this dude pops out an engagement ring. And that's a oh my golly Wally moment in itself. Because just when you think you got shit figured out, you don't got shit figured out. Boom, episode 8. This one's called The Last Dance. That ring pull was the coldest pump fake in the game. He was not proposing. They are still fighting. Over to Cancerous Kanya. She brought this dude a Speedo and a purple t-shirt. Got this man looking like the freaking headboard. Over to another girls and guys hangouts. A couple things I want to address here. First, Ruth says, well, I just needed sex, so I did it. Love that for you, queen. But of course, Kanye got something to say. She's like, you needed sex from a stranger? She's like, well, he wasn't a stranger. And it's kind of funny coming from you, because then you get naked in front of Isaac. Say what you will about Ruth. She's the only person that stands up to Kanye, which is at least admirable. Next scene, we're over to the Beavers. We got Aiden meeting up with Courtney's parents and his mom. Let me remind you that Courtney and Aiden have been dating for 7 years, but their parents never met. Anyway, I'm not here to just shade Aiden and Courtney, because this scene actually was kind of nice. Well, it wasn't kind of nice. Let me not, diminish it. This scene was very nice. Aiden is here to ask her parents for their blessing to like propose to Courtney. And it was like a real touching moment. The parents were getting all emotional. It was just nice. And Courtney's dad tells Aiden, like, look, I know your dad is far away overseas, so if you ever need to ask someone something or for me to be there for you, like, you can call me. The end of that episode, we got Ruth finally meeting Isaac's family. I mean, of course, Isaac's family kind of sucks, but they're at a restaurant getting to know each other. And I'm sure Moses is in there like, hello, I'm Moses. Nice to meet you. I don't even know what we're doing here. You should be at the house cooking for all of us. Boom! Episode 9. This one's called To Propose or Not to Propose. We done made it to the finale, y'all. And if you're still watching this video, oh my golly, Wally. I just gotta give y'all a shout out, because you are just rocking. And if you fast forwarded, I don't even mind. Get the content that you want, how you want it. All right, this, of course, the finale is where we find out everything about who proposes, who said yes, who's walking away. So let's just get through the highlights from this episode. Cool. They start out hot. We got Nkateko and Kanya. I'm at home watching this episode, symbolically holding hands with the entire continent of Africa, praying that Nkateko throws this woman into the bushes to get eaten by lions. I don't even know if South Africa has lions. And if they don't, at least throw her in the bushes to get bit by a spider. This man pulls out a ring. I put my head down and I start shaking it like this. And he's talking and I'm listening and I said, wait a minute. Because I was literally at home Googling whether it wasn't customary to get on one knee when you're proposing in South Africa. Because my man Nkateko was straight up, like he was working at a standing desk. No. This dude Nkateko was giving her a promise ring. Oh my golly, Wally, what sweet, this is gold. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't even give her that unless it was like a promise me you're gonna move to Russia. But it's still, the look on her face. Okay, but he's like, look, I wanna give you this ring. I do wanna be with you, but I think we have things to work through and I wanna do that with you. But it's all good, of course, because like Kanya understands where he's coming from. She knows that they have stuff to work on and she graciously accepts his promise ring. I'm just kidding. She damn near spits on it and walks off. This girl is not having any of that. What are you thinking? Of course not. Are you crazy? Lindele is up next. He gets down on one knee to propose to Cesar Kele. She is still laughing. The girl has been laughing since they casted her on the show. But she says yes to his proposal. I'm sorry, Nkateko. Your insurance plan has been denied. Aiden is up next. We already know that he's going to propose and Courtney's going to say yes. It happens. He gets on one knee. She says yes. Look, I think Aiden is a nice guy, but I just have a feeling that Courtney's going to be doing all the heavy lifting in that relationship until the end of time. That poor thing, he just knows that he's safe, so he doesn't have any reason to like go above and beyond. I wish they had like a real threat for her to see like how someone could treat her in a better way, but she was just so stuck on Aiden. But now he's like, look, these other couples are so crazy. What else are you going to do? You're just stuck with me. Ugh. Hate to see that, but whatever, maybe they're happy. Over to Ruth and Isaac. This dude, Isaac, opens the box with a ring in it. Slams it in this girl's face so loud, you can see her hair blowing in the wind. He's like, you deserve someone better than me. It's not happening. And I know Ruth didn't want him either, but goddamn. She accepts his rejection with an Uno reverse rejection of her own. Take the power back, queen. Last but not least, we got Genesis and Tabi. Genesis gets on one knee and he proposes. He's down there and she's asking more questions than Macaulay Culkin and Uncle Buck. She's like, you sure you want to do this? Yeah. You sure it wasn't just because I gave you an ultimatum? Yes. You sure you're not going to change your mind? Girl, yes. And then she's like, okay, I accept. Boom, and that's episodes 1 through 9. And look, I have not seen the reunion yet, so if anything I said sounds stupid compared to what's happening in the reunion because you just know something I don't know, then just mind your business. Just please, like, accept me. I'm gonna watch it tomorrow. Well, I can't because I'm gonna watch it sometime. Oh, let me do my little thing. As always, thanks for checking out Taste Take. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like and that subscribe button. In the comments, I done gave you a lot of stuff to comment on, but you can comment on that stuff. No spoilers for the reunion. That's all I ask for in the comments. But I'm interested to see if what stuff I was saying like resonated with how y'all was feeling about those people. Who do we even like from this show? Because I know who we don't like. Who do we like? Thanks for the time, y'all. Peace. Hey. Yeah, no, she's the craziest character of all time. If she goes on like Perfect Match or something like this, she's gonna be fighting physically, men and women. I just don't know the type of person she's gonna end up with. I mean, I guess some like lame rich dude will bag her, but you just hate to see it. Oh, I totally missed my deadline, by the way, because I said Friday, but I was at a family reunion. I'm trying. I'm just trying. Look, and because I made this video, this is my last thing I'm gonna tell you. I just came back from the Cannes Film Festival. I've never been there before. So I'm gonna work on a little recap video to like let you guys know my experience and what I saw and what I like and what I didn't like. And if you guys could do me a favor, because I did this for you, if you guys could just give that video just a little like and a comment, that would be so appreciated. Okay, that's it. He gets on one knee and proposes. He's down there. She's asking a million questions like Macaulay Culkin in, Jesus, what's this movie? Macaulay Culkin and John Candy. Fuck. Uncle Buck.